Meet 26-year-old Samantha Wolford. Samantha believes that she has perfectly staged the disappearance of her husband, Ernie Ibarra, and that her crimes will vanish with him, but she has no idea that detectives know she is a murderer.
Do you have anything other than his death?
No, Dad, he's dead.
Because only hours ago, Ernie was found dead in this forest, killed and abandoned by Samantha. What now follows will quickly spiral into the most complex homicide these detectives have ever seen.
Definitely dead. Oh yeah, he's dead. He's not gonna be alive.
It is still dark in the early morning hours of February 20th, 2015, when deputies with the Titus County Sheriff's Office receive a chilling 911 call from a woman named Rosie, reporting an incident that would take investigators weeks to unravel.
Titus County 911, what's your emergency?
I have a home invasion. My niece is tied up. I am at the verge of untying my niece at this particular moment.
Okay, she's tied up.
She is tied up.
Is that what you
Yes,
said?
ma'am.
Is there anybody else there?
Where are the kids? We have 5 small infants asleep.
Rosie, in a remarkably calm and composed voice, tells the dispatcher that she has just found her 26-year-old niece, Samantha Wolford, tied up and gagged inside her own home. At first, it sounds like the aftermath of a brutal home invasion, but when deputies arrive at the residence, they discover a scene far worse than anyone could have expected. As they make their way upstairs toward the bedroom, they find Samantha lying on the floor with her hands bound behind her back. Samantha then tells deputies that she isn't just a victim, but also the only witness to a kidnapping. According to Samantha, 3 masked men forced their way into the home while she and her husband, Ernie Ibarra, were asleep. Armed with knives, they held her at knife point as they did unspeakable things to Ernie. They then dragged him from the bedroom to the ground floor before taking him somewhere outside, all while he was covered in blood. But in reality, deputies find little to no credibility in Samantha's account. While it's true that Ernie was their target, investigators quickly notice something that doesn't add up. There are no signs that anyone had forced their way into the home. The door frame is completely intact, and the interior deadbolt security chain remains securely fastened. If someone had truly forced their way into the home, the frame would likely have splintered, and the chain lock would have been ripped from its mounting screws or torn away entirely. As deputies examine the scene more closely, Samantha's story becomes increasingly difficult to believe. One question after another begins to surface. If 3 armed men had just kidnapped her husband, why didn't she call 911 first? Why did she contact her relatives instead? Then there's an even bigger problem. If Samantha had really been bound and gagged, how did she manage to make the call at all? Trying to explain it, Samantha tells deputies that her cell phone had somehow ended up in her lap, and she somehow maneuvered it into position and dialed her relatives using only her nose. But that explanation only raises an even bigger question. How did the phone end up in her lap in the first place? If the intruders had gone through the trouble of tying her up, it made little sense that they would leave her cell phone within easy reach, giving her the opportunity to call for help. As the evidence begins to point towards Samantha as someone who may have played a role in her husband's abduction, she is brought in for questioning, and during the interrogation, Samantha would soon realize that deputies know far more than she had expected.
Have you heard anything?
Still working on everything. Each one. Have a seat for me. You used to go by Wolford, so Samantha Wolford. What's your date of birth, Sam?
8/28/89.
8/28/89. Now, how long? He goes by Ernie Ibarra Jr. Is that correct? Or that's his birth name? Ernie Ibarra. 8/28/89. And his birth name was Ernie Ibarra Jr. Is that correct?
Ernest.
Ernest. Okay. Everybody kind of still calls him Ernie.
Little Ernie.
Little Ernie, like his dad. Okay. And he also goes by, was there a nickname?
Dagon.
Dagon? Okay. Where'd that come from?
I don't know.
When did that come about as far as his nickname? Where did that come
After he got out of prison, when he got out of prison, he never went by his birth name unless it was for work purposes.
from? What did he go to prison for?
Assault of an officer.
Assault on an officer. How much time did he do?
A little over a year.
Now, was it county town, or did he actually go to the state penitentiary?
Place in Dallas.
Place in Dallas. How long have you and Ernie been together?
6 years.
6 years. Now, all the kids that were in the house tonight, are those all y'all's together, or is that
The younger three are.
younger?
We got together when my daughters were 10 months old, my oldest daughters, and they'll be 7 next month.
Okay. So you got how many kids altogether? 5. So y'all been together about 6 years. Okay. I know there was an incident, I guess it was last year sometime, where I guess we all got into a fight. You slapped the phone out of your hand, the phone wound up hitting, I guess, was it the youngest one? And the baby?
The middle one.
Middle one.
The youngest. It was the brother to the twin. I keep wanting to say youngest because I guess that was you.
Yeah.
I don't know, Caden, I don't keep forgetting to add him.
So
But
when that,
he was the baby of the second set of twins.
okay. So I remember that was kind of a rough time there when y'all were going through that.
Yeah.
We got a protective order for
Yes.
you against him to keep him away from you and everything. So I'm guessing that y'all
I mean,
made up with him and got back together.
Mhm.
How long after that happened did y'all get back together?
a few weeks after the emergency protective order actually was lifted.
Okay.
In the meantime, he found out from some judge that he could call me. So he had started calling me, which I told you that.
Yes, ma'am.
He can continue calling me, asking what my demands were, what he had to do to even remotely have me consider him being back in the house with us.
Although Samantha tells deputies that she and Ernie argued frequently, she leaves out what those arguments were actually about. Samantha is a blogger and YouTuber who spent much of her time creating content and posting online. Ernie didn't seem to have a problem with that. What he did have a problem with, however, was that she often became so focused on making content that she neglected their 5 children, sometimes leaving them unsupervised and rarely spending time with them. According to Samantha, those arguments eventually escalated into something much more serious. She claims that in 2014, Ernie assaulted her, prompting her to file a protective order against him. While those allegations were never proven, the order forced Ernie to move out of the house for a while. But once the protective order expired, Ernie moved back in. Now, it's quite possible Samantha saw Ernie as a threat and decided that abducting him was the only way to get him out of her life. But is that story actually true? Or is it much worse? That's exactly what detectives are about to find out as they question Samantha about her whereabouts of the day of the abduction.
Walk me through today, or yesterday morning when what was your routine yesterday when you got up?
Yesterday, God, it seems like so long.
Yeah.
It's 6 a.m. now.
Yeah, well, it's like Thursday morning, which was yesterday.
I got up.
Mhm.
Things were fine. Kids are in bed because I'm homeschooling them now. I let them get up. I asked Harley to go get her something to eat because I just bought a bunch of little handheld things that she could feed themselves breakfast because I don't go out and make breakfast. I'm not one of those moms. I'm not a morning person. I go and make lunch. Breakfast, if you wake up early enough for it, it's not going to be homemade hey, let's go all out. So I told her to go down and get something for breakfast. All the other kids was asleep. It was just her awake. She said she'd be right back. She went downstairs. She got this box of these little crunchy raisins. I didn't try any because I don't know why they were crunchy. But that's what the box said. Never heard of them. It was the first time we bought them. And she asked if she could have those for breakfast. And they're the individual foil packets. And I said, sure. If that's what you want. sitting there and watch TV. I'm going to take a shower. So that same room that they were in, Silver was also awake. While I'm taking a shower, she'd be running in there, tattling on her sister she went in the fridge and got in the Jell-O. So I had to be mean mom, yell, throw a fit. And then I told them they need to start getting ready. And they started getting dressed because a friend of mine had a baby. And I got them all ready to go. Socks, shoes, jackets, etc., etc. It never takes less than an hour to get out of the house. Got them all ready to go. Loaded them up in the car. Went to the hospital. Hung out with her for a while. She had a friend up there with her, and her mother is being crazy right now. And she's released tomorrow, and she'd had her mother's truck there with her. And she was being released tomorrow morning, or I guess today sometime. And she started crying because her mom came and took the truck, and she had no idea how she was going to get home. So I told her, have your friend drive me home and drop me off. Keep my vehicle here. Get right home. And bring my vehicle back when they get you home, or swing by and pick me up on the way, and then I can drop you off and come back. But I gotta get home. She ended up being pretty upset that I had to leave her up there because she's having a lot of problems with her baby's daddy and stuff. I came home. We watched some TV. We ate. No big deal, no fighting. Everything was normal. He was actually in a really great mood. It wasn't even like he told me 5 minutes late to work. So it was a perfectly normal day. There was nothing he was late home from work, but other than that, there would be nothing that lately that's become normal. And I don't even know, like I said, he said, usually if I was in Hastings, he told me that at 2:30, which is an hour before he's supposed to get off work, the design he had made for this new bat had been like 1/8 of an inch off, so it was going to cut part of the design off, and then when they shifted it on the bat, it looked completely wrong, so he had to completely redo it. Could be just some big, long, elaborate lie, or it could be perfectly true, I don't know, but he didn't make it home until like 5:40. But lately, that's fairly normal.
Now, after you went out at 6, got a shower, went to bed, were the kids already asleep?
Yeah, they're already asleep.
They're already asleep, okay.
Samantha keeps piling on lie after lie, hoping to save herself. What she doesn't realize, however, is that detectives already have enough evidence that directly ties her to the kidnapping. When deputies examined Samantha's phone, they found that at around 2:30 a.m., while officers were still at the house responding to the 911 call, she had texted a man named Octavius Lamar Rhymes, instructing him to turn off Ernie's phone and get rid of it. That message wasn't sent on impulse. Samantha had overheard a deputy asking another officer to ping Ernie's phone, and she immediately realized investigators could use it to track his location. But her plan didn't work. After deputies told Samantha they had located Ernie's phone, she sent Lamar another text at 3:17 a.m. This time it simply read, "Ditch phone, move." Now, detectives don't confront Samantha with this evidence just yet. Instead, they hold it back to see whether she'll admit what happened on her own, or keep lying and leave out the details that could expose her.
Do you remember about what time it was when you went to bed?
I looked over at the clock and it was like 12:01, and I was like, yeah, you've got to get to bed because you have to be up in 5.5 hours.
Sure. And do you remember about how long after it was when that happened, when you got woke up with whoever it was in the room?
I don't know how long they were there, but I do have where I called my mother with my face on my phone.
So when you were laying there in bed, you and Ernie there on the bed, far bedroom back there, what's your first memory of what's going on? What's happening?
Well, I took an Ambien, so it makes it a little harder for me to wake up. And I have a prescription with me if you want to see that. But when I can't sleep, it's supposed to shut your brain down so you can go to sleep, but also make it to where you can wake up fairly easy. Mm-hmm. Of course. I remember at some point it was a little after 1. I saw the clock, maybe on my phone. So it's still pretty foggy because it's fairly early to wake up after taking a sleeping pill. Somebody jerking the blankets down, which startled me. And then something being pressed against my throat, and they grabbed me by the hair and started jerking me out of bed. I, at that point, wasn't even aware of what was going on with him until he already had me face down on the ground and was tying my hands together. And I rolled my head and looked to the side and could see some commotion going on, but it was pitch black in my room. And they were all wearing black.
Could you tell if they had anything where they were able to see with, or how they were able to move?
One of them had, I don't know if it was attached to their gloves, because they were all wearing gloves. I don't know if it was like a mechanism that was attached to a glove, or one of those little like headlight things wrapped around their hand, or a flashlight. And it sounds crazy, but it seemed like his hand was open and he had a little bit of light coming, because it was like a little mini flashlight. It was small. I don't think he had a cell phone in his hand, because if I am remembering perfectly correctly, I feel like his hand was open and it still had light. So I don't know if it was something that was attached to his jackets, but that's how they were seen. And he flashed in my eyes at one point, which made it seem even harder, which is how I know for a fact, like, when he went like this and flashed it in my face, I swear his hand was open, so he wasn't holding on to something.
Now, were they saying anything or doing anything when they came into the room? When they were dragging out, what were they saying, or what were they?
The guy that was, it was all guys. I don't remember hearing a female voice. And to me, I just a bunch of, shut up, don't make any noise, don't make me have to hurt you, blah, 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 and hold still, hold your hands together. And I was trying to be as cooperative as possible because I didn't want to die. I'll do whatever you say, just please don't kill me, I've got kids.
So when they drag you out of bed, what happens at that point once they drag you out of bed?
Jordan put in bed and slid me down, floor face down, and pressed the blade that he had against my throat in between my shoulder blade. And then when they made me go outside to tell him bye, I just knew they were going to shoot him right there. They had him in the execution position on his knees. I never heard a gunshot, but they took me back upstairs before they left.
So when did they start tying you up?
As soon as they got me out of the bed.
So what all did they do? What all did they tie up when they got you up?
They wrapped it around my mouth and tied my hands behind my back. They didn't tie my legs together until right before they left me there. Right before I had to wobble over to get my phone, because they were forcing me to walk and things on my own and just helping me steady myself because I couldn't catch myself. My hands were tied behind my back. My mouth was tied. I'm surprised it didn't split my mouth. It was tied so tight.
She didn't recognize the voice.
I tried listening to everything. They forced him to tell me not to call the police. And he said, don't call the police. And they punched me in the mouth with the gun and said, that's not what I said for you to tell her. He said, please tell me what to say again. Please just repeat it. So they repeated it, and I couldn't understand what they were saying because they were so close to his face and growling in his ear. He said, Sam, don't call the police. I don't care what happens. Don't call the police because they'll come back and they'll kill him. Promise me. And he was screaming at me, and I was like, I promise. And that's when they took me back upstairs. And there was a bunch more yelling and cussing, and I couldn't understand any of it. Once they took me upstairs, I couldn't understand what they were saying.
What did the handgun look like?
It was just black. I don't know anything about guns.
you know the difference between like a revolver and an automatic?
Oh, it was definitely like a police pistol. It was whatever those are.
Semi-automatics. It wasn't
It was small, barely bigger than his hand. He was a big guy, so I don't really know if that's a normal sized gun and he just has large hands or.
Where did they have Ernie and where was he at down when y'all were downstairs? Where did they have him?
No, right beside
Kitchen?
the hardwood floor in the living room.
Okay. Right there close to the front door?
Yeah.
Okay. Over close to
And they had me standing in the doorway when they cut my clothes off.
Mhm.
Right there in front of him, forcing him to watch, holding his head back and forcing him to watch. And you don't want anything to happen to your pretty little wife, do you? No, I don't, I'll cooperate. And they forced me to come and kneel down in front of him, like shut me down onto my knees. So we were face to face. I was on the hardwood floor, he was on the carpet.
It's hardly surprising that Samantha is able to put on such a convincing act, because as a blogger and YouTuber, she's probably used to being in front of a camera. And with her act, detectives are convinced she's not telling the whole truth, so they change their approach and begin pressing her even harder.
You have no idea who might have taken him, who might have been, what might have been.
The only thing I can think of is his dad screwed somebody around and they were trying to get back at him.
Right. Okay. But you yourself, you didn't have any involvement in this?
No.
Nothing whatsoever?
I had no idea that anything was going on until I was yanked out of bed.
Okay. And have you been seeing anybody else? Or?
No.
Okay, so you haven't been, it's not another jealous boyfriend
Nope.
or nothing like that going on?
Nope.
Nobody that
No, when we decided to work things out, He's had access to my phone to go through my phone.
And when y'all were split up, was there anybody?
No, I go out and visit my mom a lot and go to the bar there. And I met quite a few people that were friends and stuff, but nobody that was anything special.
Nobody that you were intimate with, anything
No.
like that would have some kind of an attachment to you
No.
or anything? Okay. And as far as you yourself, you didn't have any involvement in this whatsoever?
No.
You and Ernie didn't get into a fight?
No.
Things didn't get out of hand? You didn't shoot him? You didn't bad?
No.
A piece of metal? Kick him in the face? You didn't do anything
No.
to cause any kind of interest?
No.
Okay. You're positive about that?
Yes.
Well, like I said, that's why I want to make sure, because we're going to be checking your phone records, your family's phone records. Was there anybody in your family that's involved in this?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Not that you're aware of.
No.
Okay. Would there be any reason why any of your family members wouldn't be involved in what hurt Ernie?
Brett's had problems with him in the past, but as far as taking it to the point of kidnapping him, no.
So you think, well, obviously you know Brett's voice. So
I would know Brett, yes.
Okay, so
Very well.
So you don't feel like Brett had any
No.
involvement in this? What about your mom or anybody? You didn't got any problems with Ernie
No.
to the point that I want to do something?
They've had their little problems or whatever, but nothing that would go to this level, no.
And I'm not going to find any kind of evidence to the contrary that
No.
you were involved in. What about a polygraph? Would you be willing to take a polygraph
Yes.
to prove to me that you had no involvement, no knowledge, no nothing
Yes.
involved in this? Good. Like I said, that's probably going to be a possibility, depending on what we're
Sorry,
able to.
my Facebook's attached to my phone and it vibrates every time somebody makes a status update.
I understand. But part of the procedure also, like I said, we're going to be, checking your phone records for the last few months. We're going to find any kind of, establish anything as far as anybody that's involved in this and not connected to your phone?
No.
Okay. You're sure about that?
Yeah, I would recognize a voice that I knew.
No, I'm talking about as far as you being involved in your husband's experience.
No.
Okay. So you had absolutely nothing to do with it?
No, I had absolutely nothing to do with this. I would not be this cooperative if I did.
Okay. Well, I mean, just because the person cooperated doesn't mean they didn't do something. Obviously, if someone wants to throw us off.
Have I thought about it? Oh, more than once.
Okay.
Have I thought about shooting him if I had a gun?
Mm-hmm.
The thought is, and I'm not going to say the thought hasn't crossed my mind. He's had me to the point that I wanted to keep it.
And that's what happened last night?
No.
He didn't have you to that point last night?
No. We were not fighting at all.
So what would get you to the point where you want to shoot him?
To see him lay his hands on my kids.
What all are you willing to do to help me find him?
Whatever it takes.
But you don't know where he is.
No, I don't.
You're positive.
I wish I did.
You're positive.
I'm
You
positive.
have absolutely no idea where he's at.
No, I don't.
Do you know who we can call to find where he's at?
The only one I can think is Ernie because they kept bringing him up.
But other than that, you have no
Other
idea.
than that, I have no idea. None. He doesn't have any friends. I don't go out much. The one friend that I do really have lives in Sulphur Springs.
Right.
I don't like drama. I don't like having outside chaos, so I just stay home. I'm just a stay-at-home mom.
As far as last night, y'all didn't have any kind of fights, no arguments, no nothing.
No, nothing.
Nothing to get to this point
No.
to where the blood seen there in the living room, the hair being cut off, and the blood in the living room, none of that.
No.
Had absolutely nothing to do with you.
No.
You're positive.
Yes.
As detectives continue pushing her to the limit, the cracks in her story finally begin to emerge. And before long, she reveals a detail she had been withholding the entire time. Before that, if you love watching killers like her dig themselves into a hole, subscribe so we can keep bringing you more.
So, look me in the face. I need to know the truth. Did you have anything to do with Ernie's disappearance?
No. And I
Did you
will
have anything to do with his death tonight?
No. Dead.
Mhm.
He's dead?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Yes, if he is dead, no.
Do you think he's alive?
I hope so.
Did you have anything to do with it?
No.
You had nothing to do with his
No.
disappearance? Nothing. If God forbid he is found deceased, did you have anything to do with it?
No.
Did you hire someone to do it?
No.
You had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with it.
Absolutely nothing. Then I've heard he's gone. They're just like holding him to get at his dad. Yeah, I really, really don't want to plan a funeral for my husband.
Well, like I say, the reason why I'm having to ask you these tough questions because I need to know. I need to be
I know that they
absolutely.
always look at the stuff
I
first.
have to be absolutely positively sure you had nothing to do with this.
I know. No, I not.
Sure. Okay. There's not anybody that you can think of anybody I can call and talk to other than Ernie. That's the only person they brought up. The only thing they
That's the
said.
only thing they said that had any validity other than the other guy's name was, some guy's name was Luke.
What did they say about Luke?
He was upstairs. He was the one that had me at knife point.
Okay, so that's the guy.
And they said, Luke, I need you. And he left me upstairs.
So you don't know anybody that
I don't know any other names.
Anybody that Dagon hangs out with named Luke? Anybody?
No, he's only got like 2 friends, and one is named Josh, and the other one's name is Brandon.
Samantha does exactly what detectives suspected she would do: point the finger at someone else to make her story seem believable. But in reality, the person named Luke does not exist. Along with Lamar, the person she had been texting, 2 of her other friends were also allegedly involved: Jonathan Kyle Sanford and Jose Antonio Pose. But before they could uncover the full picture, detectives needed to get a few more details from Samantha, details that would ultimately confirm she had been lying all along.
What I am is I'm pretty much what they consider an expert in this field. I've worked a lot of these. And I look at these. Okay, let me tell you something, Sam. I've been out there on the crime scene and look, and this is why that it's very important, honey, that we want you to be honest, because I'm going to tell you what, the evidence we found on the scene, it's just not matching. I don't think you harmed this boy, but I think you know who did, because if somebody's going to kidnap him, why is there his blood in y'all's pickup? Kidnappers ain't going to use their pickup to do something with him and put him out there and put him in the truck and haul him back.
In his pickup, he was
Yeah.
what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody,
know.
it's apparent to me that somebody used his truck to take him somewhere after he was at his house.
I told him that they got into his truck because they wanted his ID. Because they said they needed to verify 100% they had the right person, is what they said. I don't know if they were one of the people that hit him or not. They sent somebody out to the truck to get his wallet to check his ID. Came back in and said yes. He is who he says he
Okay,
is.
but that still don't explain why his blood is in that truck.
The face like 100 times.
Well, no, but you said they went out and did it and got it. He was never supposed to be in that truck.
If they had blood on their hands and got in the
No,
truck,
it's drip blood. It's not.
it's drip blood?
Yes, he was in that truck. So that tells us that the evidence shows that
He was in the
he was in that truck, right? Well, let me ask you something. How did you call for help if you was tied up?
I used my nose.
So they didn't take your phone in. They left your phone there.
They asked me if I had a phone, and I told them no. And they asked him,
So
and I told him no.
How'd you get to
I
it?
wiggled on my side.
Where was it?
across the room.
Where
I was on this side of the upstairs, and it was shoved up underneath the edge of the bed on this side of the upstairs.
Is that where you keep it, or do you do that during a fight?
No, it fell off the bed. When they grabbed a hold of me, I felt it slide, because I usually keep it under
So
my
why didn't you
pillow.
wake your kids up? Why didn't you go there and hit them and get them up? How old are your kids?
7, 3, and 1, and I was terrified that with what they were putting me and their parent, me and their dad through.
Because I don't think you wake them up and get them to untie you and call 911. Who did you call?
My mother was the first number on my call list. I just used my face. And
So instead of calling 911 for help, you called your mother?
how do you press 911 with your face?
Well, how did you dial your mother with your face?
I didn't dial my mother. I just pushed the first thing that was on there. It had just happened to be my mom.
Well, you pushed it?
Yeah, I just pushed my face against the phone. And that's the number it picked. I didn't try any particular one. I was just trying to call anyone.
Oh, okay.
As the evidence continues stacking up against her, Samantha eventually tells detectives that the men who broke into her home and abducted Ernie could be Jonathan Kyle Sanford and Octavius Lamar Rhymes, claiming that she had previously told them Ernie was assaulting her. With that, detectives have Samantha dead to rights, because now, along with the co-defendant's name, they have something she cannot explain: the location data from Ernie's cell phone.
You know what we think? We don't think he's going to be far. We've got things on his phones because whoever did this didn't have the mind to take his phone. And it's too late now because we've got the coordinates, we've got the pings. We're working on that. We've also got the Tilford dogs coming out. I think we're going to find him. I think he's hurt. I really do. And
Hurt,
this,
but not dead, right?
well, I don't know. And this is what's going to look so bad is from your story. And this is why you don't have to be a suspect. And I still don't think you did it.
Detectives are eventually able to locate Ernie's cell phone, which leads them to a remote unpaved timber tract in neighboring Camp County, Texas. When detectives head out to search the area, what they discover is far worse than anyone could have imagined.
I didn't go no further. Okay, that's what I was gonna say. You follow the game trail. My guess is they would follow the game trail because
I got him.
okay.
Yeah, see the body.
See that?
Yeah.
That's him.
Definitely did. Okay. What we need to do now? Oh yeah, he's dead. He's not gonna be alive.
Unfortunately, Ernie is found dead with a gunshot wound to his head. Now, with the evidence finally coming together and all of the co-conspirators in custody, detectives begin questioning them one by one, starting with the very first person Samantha texted, Lamar.
Tell me what you've seen them do, because their stories are inconsistent, right? All right, they're both pointing fingers at each other, saying, you know, this person done this and this person done that and Tay done this. I want the whole story. I want to know. I want to be able to tell a jury, and I want to be able to tell this man's kids when they grow up what happened. All right, this man had 3 or 4 kids, little kids. I want to be able to tell them what happened to them, what happened to their dad, and why, their mom's in prison.
I think with her, I'm trying, I'm guessing she wanted to get away from him. I don't know. And if you want to get away from him, that's the wrong way to get away from him.
You're right. It is the wrong way.
I even told her, I said, just get a divorce. Or she said she had a restraining order on. You can get a restraining order. If you don't abide by the restraining order, call the cops. Well, why do something like this? That's like, I have not been able to sleep knowing what they did. And The only reason why I didn't come talk to y'all is because I want to go talk to a lawyer because
Sure.
Because I'm like this. I don't want to be accused and blamed for something that I didn't do.
Yeah.
You know, guilty by association. Okay, cool. Yeah, but I didn't know that it was going down like that at all. Period. If I had knew that, I'm not about to say I'm not a violent person. I mean, I served my country and everything. If I knew it was going to go down like that, I would have stopped it.
Sure.
Straight up, I would have stopped it because it wasn't right. But Jose,
hey, you're doing the right thing right now, Octavius. You go by Tay, right? Is it okay if I call you Tay? You're doing the right thing, man.
I don't want to go tell what somebody do, man.
I understand that. I understand you didn't want this to happen. But the thing is, it did. We just want to know the truth, that's all. Tell me what happened out there, man. Tell me what happened. How did this thing go the way that it went?
Man, he shot that dude in cold blood, man.
Who shot him?
Jose did.
Okay.
And I ain't been able to sleep like a since. I know how to talk to nobody, man.
So where were you at when he shot him?
I was standing far off, but
could you see the body or see him when he shot him?
I don't know. He was standing up. Next thing I know, he was on the ground. That's all I know. And then Mr. Sanford he got mad because he wanted to be the one that done it because he liked it, Mr. Wolford. You know.
Okay.
And it's like.
So Jonathan and Samantha had something going on?
I don't know if they did or they did. I don't know.
But Jonathan liked Samantha.
Correct. And
so when you guys were there at the house, was Samantha tied up or who tied Samantha up?
Jose took some ribbon and he tied it, but he didn't tie it up that hard. He just pretty much just wrapped it around her.
Okay. Were you guys covered or were y'all wearing masks or how were y'all when you went inside the house?
I didn't see no mask.
Nobody had a mask on?
I didn't see no mask.
Okay. Did Samantha know who you guys were when you were there?
Yes, sir.
And was she talking to you guys, calling you by name? And
no, sir.
She never talked to you at all? All right. So how was Samantha acting when you guys were there?
She was trying to play it off like she didn't know what was going on. And like I said, I didn't know what was going on until I was like, what the hell? You know, like I said, I'm always in the wrong place, the wrong time, the wrong people. I'll try to help people out. I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice person. I didn't know that it was going to take this man's life.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I tell people every day. Anybody can pull a gun, but it takes a very sick to take a person's life.
While speaking with Lamar, detectives uncover several important details. They learn that Samantha was not only involved in the plan, she was the one who created it in the first place. And while Samantha continues claiming that the intruders were wearing masks, Lamar tells detectives that she was lying. But there is still more to uncover. To learn the full truth behind what happened, detectives turn to Jonathan Sanford, the man accused of carrying out the shooting and pulling the trigger. And when he finally shares his side of the story, what emerges is a chilling confession.
Okay, this all started yesterday, like you said. Yeah, we talked to her about her problem with her husband and all that. Mm-hmm. Never did I plot to kill the guy. I have a problem with males hitting females.
And I do too.
That's what me and JoJo done fought 3 or 4 times over because he has a bad habit of putting his hands on his fiance.
I agree. You're right.
Can't do it. She had a bad habit. Dude treated her like shit. I said, hell, if it was me, I'm accustomed to settling shit by fighting. Simple as that. I'd spend most of my life locked up.
So far, you and her are matching on your story. That's exactly what she said.
So, and I told her, I said, if anything ever happened, like yesterday, she was with us, he claimed he called her like 13, 14 times and had an attitude with her. He didn't. I had the phone in my pocket. I know he didn't call. The phone log on her phone shows that he only called one time at 12 something and then another time at 5 something. Both times she answered the phone. So he had an attitude, threw a hissy fit, and she said, well, he's all mad, woo, told me this, that. I said, well, look, I said, it's like this. I just met you. I don't know too much about you, but you're one of my ex's best friends. I'm here to help my homegirl out because really she's just a real close friend, like a little sister to me. She didn't have nobody there to help her. Her mom loves me to death, and that's about the only thing she could get. Well, I told her, I said, look, if I ain't even gonna lie, if I see you tomorrow with bruises, because by this time she had offered me to use her vehicle to take Charlotte home. And I told her, I said, if for any reason I see bruises on you and I can tell the difference between, I slipped and fell bruise to, I got the shit. And I told her, I said, I'm going to beat the shit out of them regardless. I don't care. That's just me. That's how I am.
Right. Okay.
They
tell me now, when you got in the car, I need to get to the part now. Okay. What happened?
So when I got back in the car, JoJo standing there says something to the other fool. The other fool runs inside real quick. Comes back out. He's got a blanket and something else. Some type of cloth material shit. I don't know. It almost looked like if you've ever done roofing before, it looked like a cloth nail bag almost. They wrapped that around his face. This dude's head split, nose broke, jaw, and he busted. They wrapped that around him.
Did you think then at that point that this was going to kill him?
At that point, I honestly didn't think they were.
Okay, well, go ahead.
They wrap him up. They take the blanket, wrap it around him. And at this point is when I started thinking, damn, because they put the dude in the back seat.
Of the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see the blood in there.
And I'm sitting there thinking.
Which side? Passenger side or?
Passenger.
Passenger side, back seat?
Yes.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay, well, what happened? Tell me, finish up what happened.
Well, before I got any further, the other dude pops out. He starts coming with me. I'm like, what's up? He's like, man, I'm getting in the vehicle too. Before I ever make the vehicle, all I hear is pop.
Who's got the gun?
JoJo does.
Okay, then what happened?
I know that sound by heart. I grew up with guns. My dad's 21 years Navy. I know what a gun sounds like. We're in the vehicle. I started, and JoJo comes out. He's got the blanket, the bandana that was wrapped around the dude's face, the other cloth material, a belt. He's got all this shit. He puts it in the back seat. He gets in. He's like, let's go. I have not been by myself since.
Okay, let's go.
Just like you seen, I didn't even have to keep coming when you came after me.
According to Jonathan, he was the first person to intervene because he couldn't stand hearing Samantha complain about Ernie every time she was around him. Believing that Ernie was the source of her problems, Jonathan says he recruited Lamar and Jose to help him kill Ernie. To find out whether Jonathan's version of events is true, detectives turn to the final witness one last time, Jose Antonio Pose.
Octavius is a military dude. It was him and Octavius' idea to burn everything.
Was it? Where'd they burn it at?
Right in the backyard.
Yeah.
Now tell me this. Did you ask him where the gloves came from? Because for some odd reason, we all three had the same pair of gloves.
Burned them too?
Yeah. He burned, I'm telling you.
So what happened when you got up to the house?
Oh, anyway, okay, like I said, we were right there.
Well, how'd you get in?
The door was unlocked. There was no forceful entry.
Okay, y'all didn't use a key to unlock it?
I didn't. I never touched that door. I didn't even know the girl. I didn't even know where she lived or anything. You know, I didn't know what the hell I was walking into when I walked in the house. So that's why I was the third guy in.
So you just thought they was going to go in there and just slap him around a little bit because it's mad at him?
Yeah, because she's the one who told him, and I quote, the kids me and this and that, treats me like shit, and da da da. So Jonathan took that as in consideration to, like I said, I thought slap him around, beat him up. Let's be honest. So like I said, I didn't know if he, now like I said, the way it happened, when he got up to the door, he said, and he reached down. Like I said, I don't know if he had a key or not. All I know.
You're talking about the front door, not the bedroom door. You're talking about the front door.
The front door, yes, sir.
Okay.
I don't know if he had a key or not. All I know is the front door come open. He walks in real light and slow. Tay walks in behind him, which is Octavius Rhymes. I walked in behind him. I had my flashlight looking to make sure I didn't know what, because like I said, I didn't know what the hell I was walking into. At first, I didn't want to get the hell out the car with that big that sits on the porch.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there was a big claw hammer that should have been found right there on the floor. It wasn't used or anything. It wasn't used. The second, it was right there on the floor. It was not there to begin with. It was downstairs about the stairs. Jonathan picked it up, walks upstairs, the little spiral staircase. He goes up. All of a sudden, when he gets like off the staircase onto the floor, he's bending down like this. Oh, he's bending down like this. Tay gets over the bottom. He's bending down like this. I'm still up on the top of the staircase, but not quite on the floor yet. But I'm right there, and he looks at me, goes like this. I walk up, I get up off the stairs and get up on the floor where he's at. And I bend down. And all of a sudden, we ease up over there. They realize who was laying where. Like I said, Octavius goes over there where she's at. He goes over here. I'm just standing guard. About this time, he puts the claw hammer down on the floor. He reaches over. And he yanks him out the bed. About that time, Octavius yanks her out the bed. Remind you, she's in on this whole thing the entire time. She knows about it. And I'll take a polygraph.
Would you?
What, to prove that she was in on it? Yeah.
Okay. Because we'll give you one. Heck yeah. Because that would help us prove that she did it, that she was in on it. Darn right.
And all of a sudden, he says, "What?" And he's wrestling, trying to get up off the floor real quick. By the time Jonathan reaches down, like I said, I'm just standing there watching, making sure, you know what I'm saying, he don't have no weapons or anything. But all of a sudden, he's sitting there, they're fighting. They're fighting hard. And then they're like in her bedroom upstairs, like a pit or something, like a hole. And he fell down off in there. Well, Jonathan got down off in there, and he stole off on Jonathan. That's how Jonathan got the scratches in his ears and everything over here. And all of a sudden, they're going at it. About that time, Jonathan pulls the pistol out. And he hits him with it.
Where'd Jonathan have the pistol at?
In his waistband.
Whose pistol is it?
Jonathan's.
Where'd he get
it? Beats me.
Okay, then what happened?
Like I said, he hits him with it. All of a sudden, I was like, man, what the hell? Like, just got kids here. I was like, look. I ran over there and I grabbed him real quick. I said, hey, chill the hell out. I said, just calm down, dude. Stop now.
In the end, it remains difficult to determine who actually fired the shot that killed Ernie. However, all the evidence and accusations point toward Jonathan Sanford as the person who pulled the trigger. But while Jonathan carried out the shooting, evidence clearly suggested that the plan itself was orchestrated by Samantha. She instructed her accomplices to make it appear as though an unknown intruder had broken into the home. The front door was never forced open that night. Samantha had opened it herself, allowing them easy access to enter the residence, abduct Ernie, and carry out the murder. After abducting him, they took Ernie to a remote location where he was ultimately killed. In the end, Jose Pose and Jonathan Sanford each pled guilty to aggravated kidnapping and murder and were sentenced to 50 years in prison. Octavius Rhymes was initially convicted of aggravated kidnapping and sentenced to 23 years in prison. But considering that he had a much bigger involvement, he later received an additional 75-year sentence. The sentences are ordered to run consecutively, bringing his total sentence to 98 years. Samantha Wolford was convicted of aggravated kidnapping and sentenced to 50 years in prison. She later stood trial again in September of 2017, where she was found guilty of murder and received an additional 99-year sentence to be served consecutively for a total of 149 years behind bars. We hope you enjoyed today's video. 85% of our viewers aren't subscribed, so if this is the kind of content you come back for, just hit subscribe. It's the single biggest thing you can do to support the channel. If you want to keep watching more, check out one of the most intense cases we've ever covered right here, or catch up on our latest upload right here.